Hey guys, how are ya? Welcome back to my channel. It's me, Steven. I am at my home group here. It's a clubhouse called Our Meeting Place. And there's a ton of different meetings. There's even some NA meetings. And I want to say there's even an OA meeting that meets here as well. That's Overeaters Anonymous. I'm wondering there's probably a Gamblers Anonymous meeting that should happen here as well. But I just chaired a meeting here. It's been years since I chaired a meeting. There were only 8 of us in attendance, all of us guys for some strange reason. But it was a really fantastic meeting. Someone celebrated their first anniversary, which is so exciting. And we had some visitors from the Bay Area. We had a visitor from Naples, Florida. And then there was a few of us that are locals. It was a small meeting, but really, really great. Very intimate. Back when I first got sober, small meetings terrified me. Oh my God. It's like walking into someone else's house. I'm like, oh my God, what if I say the wrong thing, you know? But I am going to make another pot of coffee. This is our coffee maker. It's not very exciting, but look how monstrous that is. Then just to kind of hang out for a little while, I'm going to stick around for the 11:30 meeting because some of my favorite people are bound to show up for that one. So I will see you guys later. And I think I'm going to give you a tour of my Christmas tree later on today. That might be boring for some of you, but we'll see. There's always a story. Where is my car? Let me see if I can beep it. Hey guys, I hear the beep. Oh, is that my car? I couldn't find my car. There's so many white cars. See you. Hey guys, how are you? What a fantastic meeting that was. That was so fantastic. It's hard to even describe. There was a lot of newcomers and people with long-term sobriety. One guy sharing a story sort of like mine in that, you know, he's been sober for a long time, but pretty much stopped going to meetings with any regularity. And you do suffer. And coming back to meetings and being re-energized and reintroduced to, I don't know, life. Such a good meeting. Oh my God. I am tempted to hit another Goodwill because I just haven't found anything good. And I'm just craving that little itch. So I think I'm going to drive over to the Nellis Goodwill. And then I want to do some grocery shopping in preparation for a work trip that starts tomorrow. And then I think just go home and maybe I'll give you a little tour of some of the ornaments on my tree and show you the ornaments on the tree that were thrifted. And we'll go from there. All right, I will see you guys soon. So I had the itch to go thrifting. I stopped off, got some gas, filled up my tank, and then popped over to the Goodwill on Eastern. And I picked up 3 things before I was chased out of the store. Not by any personnel, but by the smell. If you are a thrifter, you know the smell I'm talking about. The smell of old body oil, of clothing that has not been washed in a very long time. For some reason, today, that store was ripe. It was not good. So I was there for maybe 15 minutes. I grabbed 3 things and I ran out of the store. I bought 3 things. First, a bag of giant stainless steel jingle bells. I'll decorate with them somehow. If not this year, next year. I just like them. For $1.99, they're big and they're heavy and they're very loud. I picked up a pair of Sperry topsiders. If you are my age, you remember Sperry topsiders. They were everything. They're super preppy. You could wear them really in almost any situation. And they're practically new. They're they were unworn practically. Someone put them on and tried them on, but they really didn't wear them. They were $14. So for $14 for a pair of new Sperry topsiders, fantastic. I'll enjoy those. I love shoes. If you saw my video where I showed you my Christmas tree, if you look in the very, very back past the dirty kitchen, you're going to see the door to my garage is just a wall of shoes. Every door in my house has a shoe rack, at least on one side, sometimes 2. I have a lot of shoes. I love shoes. And I also bought this, which was kind of fun. I only bought it because it was $4 minus 20%, but it's a fairy light. It's a pattern called American something American, but it is a fairy light. So you take these two halves, they're taped together, but there's two halves to this bowl. You can see the seams zigzagging in the middle. You throw a candle inside the base and it lights up from the inside, and it's very, very pretty. It's called a fairy light, at least here in the States. Fairy lights were very, very popular for a while on the resale market, and they were selling for $25, $30, if not more. This was $4 minus 20%. Lit at nighttime, they are so pretty, and I figured I'd get this for myself. I'll put this up on the mantle or something. It's very, very pretty. And that's it. That's it. I need to eat something soon because I planned on bringing donuts to the meeting, but I didn't have time. There we are. So let's go home. I'll give you a little tour of some of my thrifted Christmas ornaments, and then I have to start getting ready for work tomorrow. My report time isn't till 3:49 or something tomorrow afternoon, but I do want to get it all ready and so I can just walk out of the house tomorrow. So I will see you back at the house. See ya. What is the allure of In-N-Out? There have got to be 20 cars, 25 cars, vehicles, more lined up to go through the drive-through at In-N-Out. And they've got two people out there taking orders, I guess, or I don't know. But what is the allure? I've only eaten In-N-Out twice, and honestly, the French fries were so limp that I threw them to the pigeons, and the burger, it was all right. I mean, McDonald's quality. So I don't understand the allegiance to In-N-Out, but I guess is it a California thing? I don't know. I don't understand it. All right, I just tried to film a little video clip showing you some of my favorite ornaments, and I rewatched the clip, and it just looked like this mind-bending, blurred tour of a Christmas tree. Let me slow down and focus and show you some of my favorites. I'm not going to show you every ornament on the tree. I'm sure no one really cares. But I want to show you some of my favorites and maybe give you an illustration of what thrifted Christmas trees could look like. I think it's cute. There we go. A theme on the tree is going to be of a few things. First off, I've got a ton of these plastic icicles on the tree. I have collected these clear plastic icicles since I was probably 15 years old. Many of these are original to my collection. Target did a line of them one year, and I bought a few of them. But this is another one that I've had probably since I worked at Zayre. If anyone knows what Zayre was, it was a department store like a Woolworths, but this is one of the larger icicles. I probably only have about 5 of these large ones, but I've got hundreds of these little clear plastic ones, and you'll see them all over the tree. Something else you'll see often are these little straw ornaments. Right here, these snowflakes and these little angels. I lived in Germany when I was between 10 and 14 years old, and I had a ton of these little straw ornaments on our trees ever since. So I'll just show you some of my favorite ornaments. Most of the ones you see here are thrifted. That butterfly, that blue butterfly up there, I believe is thrifted. The Bumblebee is not. I bought him, I think, at Walmart, honestly. That little thing that looks like a cat toy is from IKEA. I've got 3 of these. That was a gift topper, I believe, back at Neiman Marcus years and years and years ago. And you'll notice a lot of Hallmark. My tree is very heavy on Hallmark, vintage Hallmark that I've thrifted. This one is of Donald Duck, and he's trying to wrap his package, and you can see the ribbon is just all over, and he looks very unhappy. I think he is hysterical. I've got a ton of these miniature Christopher Radko ornaments, and you can see just by my finger how small that ornament is. Those are thrifted. These little glass drops you'll see all over the tree are thrifted as well. I don't know what they were originally for, but I thought they looked cute on the tree. That's another little mini Christopher Radko ornament. This is a Jonathan Adler ball, Christmas ball, that it's glass, that I found at Goodwill. I was tempted to sell it because his items do sell, but I really liked it a lot, so I put it on the tree. There's another one of those mini Christopher Radko ornaments. I don't know who made this little porcelain boot, but it's a circus theme, as you can see there. And it was made in 2002, which is the year I got sober. Yeah, I just found that at Goodwill, and I thought it was perfect. I have a little space in my heart for Christmas ornaments from 2002, and maybe I'll tell you a little story about my first sober Christmas. I think I've showed this to you. It's one of my favorites too. It's like a little spring, Christmas tree shaped spring of little stars, and there's a star and a moon sleeping on a cloud in the middle of that. This one is hysterical. It is a kitten hanging from a ball of yarn that's out of a yarn basket, and if you flip this up, there's another kitty on that side, and then there's another kitten on the other side. So cute. So cute. More Christopher Radko. Little mini. I love him. I think he's very cute. What else is thrifted? These were thrifted. These are porcelain angels. I think, are they from Bradford Exchange? I think they might be. But they're just beautiful porcelain angels with these little fuzzy wings. I've got 3 of those. You'll notice I've got quite a few cats on my tree. This one, I think I bought all these. These were actually from Hobby Lobby, I think, maybe Walmart. I don't know, but it's just adorable. It's a cat with a pair of reindeer antler headbands on there. So cute. This is an ornament I've had since either the late 80s or 1990, something like this. It's a taxi with Santa Claus. On the other side of it, there's a teddy bear sitting in the passenger seat with a Christmas tree hanging out of it. And this has been one of my favorite ornaments for many, 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 many years. This one's adorable, Hallmark. This one is thrifted, and he's unveiling a Jell-O mold, and it's so cute. This actually is like a bobblehead up on top. So sweet. There's more of these little snowflake. I have these all over the tree. I've got tons of these ornaments that somebody's grandmother probably made out of a styrofoam ball, sequins and pins. I love these. I collect these. I've got probably 6 of these. They're blown glass candles that stand at the end of some of these branches. This is actually a rhinestone earring that I thrifted and hung on the tree. I've got 2 of those, a matching pair. This is a, what is her name? I had to think of her name. This is an ornament by Laurel Birch, one of my favorite graphic artists. She does a lot of cat stuff, and I just think this is great. It's a carved piece of balsa wood of a cat standing on a star. I've got a couple Laurel Birch ornaments here. This is another one of those pin ornaments. So pretty. This is absolutely one of my favorite. It's a cube. It's like something out of Hellraiser Christmas, if you know the movie series. It's a cube of pins with the Hellraiser reference with these little circles, and I just think that is absolutely gorgeous. Oh, here's another Laurel Birch. It's an angel with little brass wings. Also balsa wood. Here's another one of those candles. This is another vintage hallmark of Santa enjoying a Coke. Another of those pin ornaments. Barbie. I probably have 5 or 6 of these Barbie ornaments. I collect them only when I thrift them. I don't want to buy them on eBay or anything, but I do. When I see them, I get them if I don't already have them. These are little crystal ornaments by Silvestri, which was in vogue years and years ago. It's a crystal dove with a olive branch in its mouth, and I've got a butterfly over here with a little gold Very pretty. Another of those pin ornaments right here. Here is another vintage Hallmark ornament. This is Yogi the Bear and Boo Boo. I've always identified with Yogi Bear and Donald Duck. If the two of them, my two spirit animals, were these two characters, I think that would equal me. I just got this. I just thrifted this a couple days ago. Another one of those pin ornaments. So pretty. This is one of my most favorite ones. I think I've already showed you this one. That's thrifted. There's another Barbie up here. She was thrifted just a couple of days ago. These little sequin bells with red ribbons. I've got 3 or 4 of those. This is an ornament. It's one of those little satin ornaments from 1986. A Grandmother's Love is for Always. I actually thrifted this. I did not have it from back then, but this is back when I was living with my grandmother back in 1986. I was a junior in high school, and when I found this, it's not the prettiest ornament, but I did get a little emotional when I found it because, you know, my grandmother did save my life. She is very special to me. I loved the Three Stooges when I was a kid. We've got Larry, we've got Moe, and we have, I thought it was Shep, but I think it's Curly. And it's really hear no evil, see no evil, and speak no evil with the Three Stooges. And these are ornaments from 1999. I got them new in their box from Goodwill. I was very excited. A little disco ball because you have to have one. Let's see. This is a little cat made of fur. I've got a couple of these. Another little Barbie ornament. And these are all thrifted. This is one of my favorites. I love this one. It's just a little Victorian house. And inside, if you look, you can see the tree. But if you turn this around, it's like a little dollhouse. Isn't that sweet? I love Hallmark ornaments. I just wish they weren't so heavy. And what else do you see here? These two guys, I bought these. I did not buy them thrifted. I did not thrift them, but this is a potter. You can see that little pot in his hand. He's a painter, and in my mind, they met on my Christmas tree and started dating, and they've been dating for a few years now. They're very happy together here on the tree. That's about as close as I'm ever going to get to having a boyfriend, right there. I'll show you this one. This is also one of those pin ornaments, and I think this one's fantastic. Looks like a giant peppermint. Little stitched ornaments up there as well. My Christmas star at the top is also thrifted. One of you folks sent me, after I saw it in a store, CB2, I saw it in CB2, one of you folks sent me a brass star, Christmas star that looked very much like that one. But it was so expensive. I saw how much it was. And it was so heavy, I couldn't get it to stay at the top of a tree. And I just had this nightmare that it was going to fall off the tree and hit one of my cats. It was so heavy. So I returned it. I credited the original purchaser for the on their card rather than an exchange or something, because it felt like the right thing to do. But so somebody gifted me a brass Christmas star, and then I found this one at Goodwill for $5.99. That was like 2 years ago, I think. But I love that little brass star. But I always think of the gift that you guys sent me that one year. Another brass ornament. This is a little cat, and I think this one's also by Laurel Birch. I do love Laurel Birch. I've got a throw pillow by her that I just absolutely treasure. And this is another little miniature Christopher Radko ornament that's a little stocking. This is a lot of fun. It's made of steel and copper with these little glass beads. It's like a trailer, like something you'd pull behind your car to live in or go on vacation. It's got a little copper and brass palm tree there with little ornaments. And the tire spins. I love that ornament. Oh, where's the Wheel of Fortune one? Oh, Claire. Someone gifted me this as well. It's a porcelain disc with Claire's picture on it. I put her on the tree every year. Oh, here's the Wheel of Fortune ornament. And the wheel actually turns, which I think is hysterical. Wheel of Fortune. I haven't watched Wheel of Fortune in years and years, probably 15, 20 years, because Pat Sajak has always kind of creeped me out. But Wheel of Fortune, my grandmother, I lived with her for many years. She helped raise me. My grandmother and I would sit in the kitchen every day at her orange plastic vinyl tablecloth in the kitchen, and we would watch Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy on this little tiny black and white television screen that she would have on the table there. And we would watch Wheel of Fortune, and I wasn't incredibly intelligent back then. I wasn't extra special or very smart, but my grandmother always used to kind of blow smoke up my skirt and go, "Oh, you're so smart, you're so quick." And yeah, she was very sweet. But we used to sit and watch Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy every single night. I would be eating. She would sit down with her rocks glass with Dewar Scotch and two ice cubes with 2 fingers of, no, it was 1 ice cube and 2 fingers of Dewars. So just about this much in the glass with 1 ice cube. She loved her Dewars. She loved her Scotch. The apple doesn't fall from the tree, far from the tree, as you know. I don't like Scotch, though. There she is. This is Barbie. This is the first Christmas Barbie ornament, and I don't know why I bought her. I was never that much in love with Barbie, but I think this is from 1993. I probably bought her to christen my first Christmas tree as an adult on my own. So that's the first Barbie Christmas ornament. I love her. I put her on the tree very early on every year. What else did I do? What have I not showed you? Oh, this is cute. It's Santa and one of his little reindeer on a ski lift, and they both look absolutely terrified. This one. This is so fun. Look at this. It's a giant turnip. It's got these little bugle bead roots. This is by Emerald Lagasse, the chef. Isn't that wild? It's a Emerald Lagasse blown glass turnip. I just had to have it when I saw it at Goodwill. What else? I think that's it. That's like a rough tour of my Christmas tree. I hope you've enjoyed the ornaments. I put this tree up mostly for you guys. Although I do enjoy looking at it at nighttime. Hi there, Eleanor. Hi. Oh, my baby. I did put the stockings up. This is a stocking that I sewed. Oh, I sewed that probably 5 or 6 years ago. Maybe even 7 years ago. I never finished decorating it, but I do like the shape. And I think that the red and white stripes are actually all it really needs. That is Eleanor's stocking. I really don't put anything in here. This is a stocking I made for Buddy. Somebody sent me this fabric, and you can see that it is exactly Buddy, my cat. So I made an ornament, a stocking, and I surrounded it in little jingle bells because his stocking had to be as loud as he is. This one I made for Claire. Unfortunately, I just made it. It's like a size 20 shoe. It's so huge. But I just thought she was so pretty and she was so delicate that the lace was appropriate. And her nose was sometimes kind of roseate and it looked like a little piece of candy. So I liked the roses. And her eyes were so pretty and soft blue that I thought of this fabric when I thought of her when I saw that fabric. And I've got these clogs, these vintage, and they're real. Like these were worn by somebody, and I actually fit in them. They're my size. They're a size 12. I got these, and I keep them up there year round, really. But I have these little cat figurines I sat inside. I believe, I mean, this is just my understanding, is that back in the day that in that part of the world, they would put their shoes out. Instead of putting a stocking out, they put their shoes out for St. Nick to fill. So those are my stockings by the mantle. What was that? What? Disco balls don't belong on bookshelves? What do you mean? No, pshaw, pshaw. They belong everywhere. So in editing this video, I realized I had heard myself tell you that I was going to share a little story about my first sober Christmas, and then I didn't mention it again. So for context, I got sober. My sobriety date is June 28th, 2002. I can't believe it's been such a long time. It's craziness what has happened to me since. It's insane. I couldn't have wished for a better life than what I have. Back then, anything I could have wished for myself would have been a garbage compared to my life today. But I digress. Let's see. My first sober Christmas was roughly 6 months after I got sober, right? My grandmother was still alive, but the family was deeply fractured. My Aunt Elaine, where my grandmother was living with Elaine, my Aunt Elaine was deep in her alcoholism, and I really wasn't welcome in the family. My aunt had, for some reason, selected me to be her son's godfather, and but she wouldn't let me stay in. She wouldn't let him be in the same room with me unless we were supervised by somebody else, because she had this idea that gay men it wasn't healthy to have a child around a gay man. So it just wasn't the healthiest of family situations. It was really horrible. I come from broken people. But so I wasn't in a desperate need to get down to Rhode Island to be with my family, what was left of it, for Christmas. And I was roughly 6 months sober. I don't think I was psychologically, spiritually centered enough to go into that situation anyway. So I stayed in Boston for that Christmas. In Boston, I don't know if they have them here, but we would have what are called alkathons. Alkathons, which in college is a very different thing than it is when you're getting sober. An alkathon is when you go to meetings that are 24 hours. So in Boston, we would start meetings at, say, 6 p.m. on Christmas Eve and go all the way through to 6 p.m. on Christmas Day. So if you needed somewhere to go that was safe, if you wanted to be around fellowship and other people, but didn't feel comfortable going out to restaurants or bars or had nowhere to go, if you were homeless or you had no money, you could go to these alkathons and have somewhere to go for Christmas. So I think I went to someone's house, Bill G, Cashmere Bill. I think he had a little get together at his house. I was terribly uncomfortable, and because I just didn't know how to talk to people. I didn't know how to speak. But everyone was planning on going to Christmas Mass at Trinity Church, which is in Copley Square, very famous church. But they had a Christmas Eve Mass, a midnight Mass. And my friends were all going, so I decided to go. Now, I think I was baptized, but I was never, no, I was christened, the water dunking, whatever the head, I did that. So, but I never went to catechism or whatever it is the thing you have to do so you can get that little piece of Christ's body on your tongue. I didn't do any of that. But so we're at Trinity Church. If you Google Trinity Church, it is a masterpiece of architecture. It is massive and huge and glowing, and there's all these stained glass windows and it's just absolutely the most extraordinary place. And Christmas Eve, about 11:30, we walk in, we find a seat. I don't know how we got a seat. And then at some point, we all my friends started getting up and walking towards the front of the church, and they would like, come. So I get in line with them, and it's like, I don't know where we're going. It was scary. Well, I don't know what's happening here because I've never done this before. We go up to, and we get to the where the holy water is. There's like a basin or something, and this priest or clergyman of whatever he's called is tearing off a little piece of what looks like pita bread, and he dunks it into a cup, and he puts it in the congregants, their mouths. Their hands are down by their sides, and he just puts it in their mouth, and they walk on. And I assume this is the body and blood of Christ. Now, we all know how I feel about that, right? Well, I was just doing what my friends were doing. So I got in line and I went behind and I got to the guy, the priest or the clergyman, whoever he is, and he tears off this surprisingly large chunk of bread and he dips it in a cup and he puts it in my mouth. Now, I'm 6 months sober. I haven't had a drop of booze in my mouth in a very long time. 6 months was a lifetime for me. Well, that was wine that he had dunked the bread in. And that drop of wine on my tongue was like a curling iron in a bathtub. It was shocking. And I was shocked. And I was terrified. Did I just go out? Did I slip? Did that mean, is that equal a drink? Do I have to come back? Do I have to start counting my days over again? Oh, it was horrible. It was horrible. I was told no. It was not considered a drink. It was the body and blood of Christ. Oh, God. Is that better? I don't know. So, there we go. That was my first sober Christmas. And what else happened? Yeah, went to some more meetings, and then I survived the night. There's my story. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. I forgot to show you this ornament. I bought it recently. I put it in the garage. I forgot about it. And then Eleanor found it and dragged it into the house. I think she thought it was a bird because there's so many feathers on his back. It's a teddy bear holding a paper mache star. I also forgot to show you these ornaments I got. They're from Bradford Exchange. It's in the style of a Tiffany lamp, but it's porcelain. Very pretty. And I have a blue one with iris. There is one here in pink that's supposed to be pansy or something, I forgot. And there's a green one somewhere. But yeah, I love my tree. It's very pretty. I was trying to think of what kind of Christmas memory I'd share with you since I'm inspired by my thrifted Christmas tree back here. One of the Christmas, I'm sure more memories will come as we get through closer to the holiday. But one of my first memories that comes to mind right now for Christmas was 1981, I think. I think we were living in Leonberg, Germany, right outside of Stuttgart, near Esslingen. And we had no money. My stepfather was relatively new in the military. He was a private. My mother wasn't working. They both had a drinking habit. My mother smoked a lot of pot and hash. So a lot of the money went to those ancillary products, as you'd say. So Christmas, we didn't have a Christmas tree, and I don't think artificial trees were very popular there in Germany, but we didn't have money to buy a Christmas tree. So one night, coming back to the house, we walked by a Christmas tree lot that was at the end of the street. My stepfather jumped over the fence, opened up a gate. I don't know why it wasn't locked more securely. And then we all ran in there and we stole a Christmas tree. We picked it up and ran, the three of us holding this Christmas tree, laughing and giggling the whole way, running down the street. And we brought it home. My mother went out and bought red glass Christmas bulbs from the PX. And but she didn't buy hangers, like the little wire hangers. But we did have a roll of red ribbon for, that curling ribbon. And so we just tied the ornaments on the tree. And that was it. It was just a green Christmas tree, no topper. Oh, I lied. I made a Christmas tree topper out of cardboard and I covered it in crinkled up tin foil. That was our star that year. But it was very pretty. It was very pretty. I would love to see that tree again. It was actually quite wholesome looking, which it ended up not being very wholesome. It sounds it, doesn't it? A Christmas tree with little red bulbs tied on the end of each branch with a little bit of ribbon with an aluminum foil Christmas star. My mother could turn anything wholesome into absolute beastliness. She had a Christmas party, and every party we had, the Politzai would show up in their green leather outfits with big, big guns. But because eventually someone would throw firecrackers or something on the balcony below ours, because our neighbors were just awful. But no, we were awful. They were probably normal people. But my mother invited everyone over for a Christmas party, and the only thing you had to bring was a piece of underwear to decorate the Christmas tree. Cindy and Butch, they're best friends. Cindy had these enormous breasts, huge, I mean, monstrously huge, giant breasts, and she was very, very short, but she had these huge breasts, and she brought one of her brassieres to drape it across the Christmas tree. I swear it could have covered the whole top of the tree. And Butch, who was just that, I remember him being, he was like G.I. Joe on steroids. He was so masculine. Getting kind of vapors thinking about Butch. But Butch brought something that Cindy had made for him. She had crocheted a unit of clothing. I don't know if there's a name for it, but it was like a sock that would cover his member, as you'd say, and his balls. I'm not sure how else to say it, but it was this thing that he could theoretically put on his thing and then tie around his waist. She crocheted this. Such a homemaker. And he brought that and he put that on the tree. And I remember I was very young. I couldn't have been 11 years old. I was already very aware of how masculine Butch was. And yeah, I was quite enamored by that decoration, of course. Memories. Yeah, so that was one of my first favorite Christmases. I was 10 or 11 years old. And that's my family. Yay. All right, so I think this is going to be it for this video because the only thing I'm going to do the rest of the day is prepare for my work trip tomorrow. Oh, I have to go to the market and make sure my device is charged and my clothes are packed for appropriate weather. I'm going to be in Charlotte and then somewhere else. I don't know where else. Newark? I don't know. Somewhere cold. So I have to pack for that. And there we are. That is Vlogmas day, I believe, 8. So I will see you tomorrow. All right, fly safe. Bye. Look at Buddy. He's making biscuits in front of the Christmas tree. Oh, I love him so much. Look at his little hands. Oh, I love Buddy. Happy holidays, Buddy.